What's up, AFTERBUZZ TV fans? Tune in now for Shooter episode Overwatch.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Starting it off with a little bit of Dr. Dre, and the song is called The Watcher, which is the closest thing I think we can find to the episode title. Overwatch, this is the Shooter episode recap. This is episode 4 of season 1. Unfortunately, Marianne is not here with us
We missed you already.
I know. She had a emergency she needed to get to. We wish her well.
Of course.
She should be back next week, though. But we're going to be holding it down. It's going to be guys night right now.
Come on. Just like the first episode. We got this.
Great episode.
Introduce yourself.
Totally. I am
got to
JB.
introduce yourself.
You guys can follow me at Hey John Blake.
And
where can they follow you?
I am Desola Balogun. You can follow me at Desola B. It's worth it, you guys. I'm posting a great selfie after this. I'm telling you.
Nice.
Follow me.
Nice. All about those selfies, eh?
Come on, of course. You don't post selfies?
Well, I mean, not as much as you do. We can't all.
How do you know me? Oh, you've seen it? Yeah. I'm on my 4th in a row this week. Sorry, you guys. Anyways, keep going.
Back to the show. We have a pretty intense episode. This was one, the season has been great. We've only had 4 episodes, but it's very high octane. This episode was great because we got a lot of backstory, which I think is cool, from all the different characters, sort of. We got a lot of big picture stuff. They even mentioned that by name, big picture, which we should just start talking about. The first sort of scene that we're involved in, and kind of throwing back blast from the past, is their Marine scout.
Where it all started.
Sort of, yeah. I mean, obviously not their first rodeo, but they're Donnie and Bob Lee Swagger are kind of doing coverage for a convoy that's passing through a town. They get the order to pull out what's his name? Johnson. Isaac Johnson, who is number 1 on my
he's such a douchebag.
hate list
every
right now.
I can't even.
He's literally
every
the worst.
episode I hate him so much. That's my first note says F
Big,
Johnson.
just huge notes.
I hate him
The
so
worst.
much. He's the worst person.
We'll get into reasons to hate him and
The
want
whole
his
episode.
painful demise, which I do. I want him to die a horrible death and bad things to happen to maybe his whole family.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's a little aggressive.
His one wife that we just found about.
Exactly.
And knowing him, he probably has more.
I wouldn't put it past him.
He's a douche.
He's an evil dude. He is a bad seed. Not good. Anyway, before he got so corrupt, we kind of see who he is and his relationship with Bob Lee Swagger. He pulls an order to make him leave and not protect the convoy anymore. Convoy comes through. Bob Lee sees that there's a bunch of bad guys, assesses a threat in a window, and decides to go off radio, kind of override.
And of course, he is the hero of the day, like always.
Right. He does. I mean, he does save those people. Whether or not it's the right call overall is sort of gray. I mean, obviously, it's easy to say Bob Lee made the right decision because he saved everybody and lived. So, kudos. At the same time, the conversation they had right after the event, when kind of Isaac Johnson berates him and punishes him with cleaning the radios. That's kind of Bob Lee's excuse of why he didn't obey the order.
Yes.
They actually had a pretty good talk. I thought it was interesting how they've made it more they legitimize it, is what I mean to say.
The beef between them?
No, not so much the beef. I mean, we kind of see that evolve over the course of the episode, but the order that Johnson made was legitimized for me because Bob Lee is a higher asset. He was saying, you have to think about the big picture. You are so much more valuable than these people in this convoy. So yes, you want to be the hero and save everyone, but honestly, in that moment, he was trying to save Bob Lee. So it's interesting.
Yeah, but he was trying to. But I feel like watching this episode, I feel like everything leads back to it's like Johnson started like all of this, like as you see, he and Meacham and everything. And from watching this episode and seeing that beginning half, I feel like there's a sense of jealousy there because we found out that Johnson was also a sniper, which we did not know before.
True. Which kind of goes back to last episode when he makes the shot and supposedly kills Bobby Swagger.
And he always mentions. Well, he's mentioned many times like, "Oh, you're the best sniper in the world. You're the best sniper. You and the Russian guy or whatever." Right. So I feel like he is a little jealous of him, which I feel like that might be some of the animosity that he has towards him. And because from watching it, I keep thinking like something's not right here, and I think I think that's one of the reasons.
Interesting.
Jealousy.
Yeah, I mean,
he's the best.
He is the best. At the same time, I think they want different things. Because again, before all the corruption happened for Johnson, granted, he may have just been like a horrible person, or willing to sell his soul out easier than the normal people. The ladder, yeah. But at the same time, I think he volunteered to get out of that sniper position. Like he wasn't. We never have seen anything that made him leave. Like, okay, Bob Lee's better than you. Like it wasn't like, okay, I can't be the best at this. I'm gonna go there. True. But I'm saying that's not the reason he went out. Like everything that he and Meacham were kind of going over, and Meacham was clearly brainwashing him to be sort of his pawn. But it was the fact that he wants to do bigger things. Like Bob Lee's just a guy that just wants to save people. Like he's insanely good.
And think about that though. What you just said, he wants to do bigger things. He wants to be higher up. But Bob Lee is still looked at as a hero all the time, So I keep thinking in my mind, what you're saying is true, but I think that there is still some type of underlying feeling towards him because it's like I want to be the man on top, but there's still Bob Lee. Even after Bob Lee dies, he wants to be the man on top. Well, he doesn't want people. I guess he's trying to keep a lower profile then. Well, no, but I just feel like I don't know. I feel like there's some jealousy there. But I mean.
I mean, again, I hate Isaac Johnson with a fiery passion of 1,000 Suns.
You're the worst.
But I hope you're watching. He is the worst. The character, of course, Omar.
I mean, you're making me not like you too, Omar, just because you play his character. Well,
I mean, with acting, whenever a character can make me hate them, that's when
they're doing a good job. Yeah,
good
exactly.
Acting. Okay. Yeah. So kudos again to you because I really dislike you, the character again. No, I think the character is ambitious to the point of wanting the greater good. I think he obviously has goals of his own. He wants to be on top. I don't think he's competitive in the same way where it was a butting heads with Bobby Swagger and because he knew he couldn't win.
Well, no, yeah, I mean that makes sense. I get that, but I still think that. But what we did learn is that he is easily manipulated because from watching the episode, you can see that he didn't start off as so much of a bad guy, but then Meacham kept pushing him.
Exactly. And it wasn't that hard. I mean, I think he went from A to B pretty quickly.
And I was just thinking that. I said, so he might have had underlying, bad guy.
Yeah, no, I think his moral fiber is much weaker than Bob. I mean, I think Bob Lee Swagger is almost overdeveloped morally. I think he is which is another reason why in that first Marine Scout mission, he didn't really care about his life. He was like, I am here, danger's going down. I don't care if I get killed. I'm going to save as many people as possible. Again, I think the reason why in the government there is a chain of command is because they need to make those decisions when there is a greater good situation. When both options are bad, this person dies or this person dies, they choose one way, and that's why you sort of have to comply with that.
Well, this episode, it just sucks because it just shows how all of these people are all bad. It's bad cops, bad CIA agents, all bad government officials. They all are crooked.
True. I mean,
everyone.
It spirals out of control, and I mean, we see it start in that sort of way where it's okay. I think you can get behind that conversation. It's a gray, murky area. Okay, what do they do? It's a bad decision either way. But through the course of the episode, it definitely escalates to a point where there's clear sides And I think most people are on the side of opposite Johnson because he does some pretty rough stuff.
I mean, Johnson sucks. And real quick though, can you guys let us know if you guys like, if you're Team Johnson, you know, you can comment in the live chat. Let us know if you're Team Johnson. If you are, I'm gonna judge you, but it's okay because we want you to hear what you have to say. But if you're not, please comment because we love people who agree.
Yeah, exactly. And if you are, maybe we can mob mentality on like, you know, the few people that are not.
Yeah.
I don't mean to discourage anyone from commenting, but why not?
So
Make
what
it
did
a
you
bloodbath
think?
out there.
Right? What did you think about Payne and Memphis meeting? I knew it was a bad idea.
I thought it was interesting. It was, you know, kind of how it started. Memphis is obviously trying to kind of walk on eggshells. She knows that she's doing some stuff off the record and that she shouldn't be doing. Clearly, she's not the, you know, star employee at her office. So I think, you know, she's very wary, you know, and her dealings with Johnson obviously didn't go that well last episode. So it was an interesting play. I think Payne played it very well. You know, obviously she caught on to him
until she caught him. He did not do well at that. He's like, don't tell anybody about this. He could have just acted like he had no idea what she was saying.
I think he played it as well as he could have. There's so many skeletons in the closet that's an impossible feat. So I think he did it very well. It was like, to me, it was very keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. And so he was trying to, you know, kind of pretending to be an ally and kind of like keep her in the dark. And then when she was figuring stuff out, like kind of like let her in a little bit.
And then try to kill her.
Yeah.
I mean, what else would you do, right?
I mean, that's what Payne does. But I mean, props to Payne for holding himself up so well against Swagger.
Oh,
I mean,
my God. Can we not?
By the way, you totally called, had a great prediction during the
Finally,
viewing.
if you've been watching, you know that everything I predict is wrong.
We have to commend that.
Everything he predicts is right, typically. But this episode, I was on. I was on fire.
Yeah.
I was lit.
You
I was
were.
like, Bob Lee's coming. I just felt it, you know. It was
Totally.
You know, it was this intuition that I
I guess I'm rubbing off on you.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but you totally nailed that.
He held his own,
Desola
though.
predicted that even though we have the Memphis being drugged after their coffee shop meeting, and Payne obviously trying to kill her with that cocktail of alcohol and like prescription pills after writing a lovely suicide note, apparently.
He's good at that. He did it for other guys too.
Clearly not his first faked suicide. He's got it down to science. But again, props to him for holding his own against Swagger. I thought Marine Scout Sniper would have just swept the floor with that dude.
I wrote a note on here and I said, Payne held his own against Bob Lee. Yeah, it was just, I was very surprised.
Yeah,
but the fight scenes in this show are insane. I have to say that.
Pretty cool.
They're
I mean,
really
they
good.
went to town. Like, he stabbed it. I think it was like a pencil or something. It was
And
dark.
then he stabbed him with like something like that looked like a pencil.
Yeah.
And then it was like a broken bottle that he kind of like stabbed him with again. And then he stepped on the pencil in his back again. So he was going ham. And then he almost,
dude, he went off the chain.
I think he could have killed him if he wouldn't have, I guess, thought about what he was doing and ran away.
Yeah, he probably would have. Luckily, Memphis finds a gun, and you know, though she's drugged, she is pointing out him enough to kind of scare him
but
off.
the thing is, he knew she wasn't going to shoot it because if she was to shoot the gun, then it would bring attention to her, and they would come to her house, and then they'd find out like about Bob Lee kind of thing. You know what I mean? So I think he knew she wasn't going to shoot it because I was like, why didn't she shoot him? But then it made sense. Like if she does, then.
Right. I mean, also she was heavily drugged.
Yes, but I mean, you don't think that was a part of it?
I think that definitely is a good outcome. I don't know if all of that went through her head. Maybe part of it.
It all went through her head. All of it.
She's an FBI agent. Obviously, she's smart and has protocol, so that totally does make sense. You know, obviously, again, Bob Lee Swagger not really caring about his life at all. I mean, he throws himself in front of the train tracks all day.
But I feel like he's confident in himself that he knows that he's not going to like die. I mean,
I can't be killed.
I mean, I don't think he thinks he's invincible, but he's never scared. He just goes for it, you know, all the time. Like
right. With the training, I mean, again, I don't think it can be said enough. The way that our troops train is insane. Like they are so conditioned to handle like the most stressful situations. I have a buddy that is a Marine, and he said like you literally don't like they get rid of the fear by putting you in those situations. That's why boot camp is so tough. You know, like even things like drowning. Like you go through these so many
Like they
drills.
almost drown you, kind of.
Right, where you know you get that feeling. You know, if I'm underwater for like 15 seconds, I freak out.
15
that,
seconds is kind of long, actually.
Well, that, I mean, that feeling of drowning.
No,
is,
yeah,
like,
I'm like 15 seconds. That sounds scary, so I could imagine what they go through.
But I mean, there's so many things that they are just conditioned to no longer, I think, fear death, and in a lot of ways. I don't think it's ever impossible to eradicate a fear of death, but they're well trained is the main bullet
There are
point.
some people who aren't afraid.
Rambling.
Some people think that they're invincible. And Bob Lee, I'm not saying he thinks he's invincible, but he knows he can hold his own, which is why I feel like he goes for it all the time.
Right.
Like he doesn't think twice. He's just like, boom. Though knowing him, he probably thought about everything that would happen in every scenario possible, how the fight could go. He probably didn't think he was going to be stabbed, though, twice.
Yeah, did not have that. He's got to work on his blocking.
Can I just say something else, which is kind of random, but it's a part of this?
Okay.
His daughter won me over this episode.
Really? She said like 2 words. She was like, "Daddy's not dead."
Yeah, because I was like,
that's as much as you can tolerate.
I said, you know what? Because her name is Mary, I'm pretty sure. I was like, Mary, you know what? I still don't like you like that, but I kind of like you now because she was such a G. She's like,
growing on you.
Yeah, she was like, Daddy's not dead. Like, whatever. Like,
Just
like,
please.
Aunt, get out of my face.
Please,
He's alive.
please.
You know?
Stop, please.
And I was like, ooh, I like you. But then Julie just came and why? Why did she do that? Who told her to tell her sister? That was so stupid of her.
I mean, family ties.
No, I'm not. No. She should have told her sister.
Well, I don't know if she should have. Well, it
No.
kind of went to a crossroads. Like her sister was freaking out. She was like, "You have to." Like she thought she was raising her daughter wrong, and it was like a whole. I think it could have gotten blown up into a bigger thing had she just denied him.
I would have denied it. I would
Really?
have.
Okay, You're just like, "Nah, I'm gonna."
Well, think about it. Why would
just
she tell
sorry,
her
sis.
sister?
I'm gonna raise my daughter the way I'm gonna.
Oh,
raise
exactly.
Her.
That's
All
like
right.
my totally. I'm like,
Just
back
please.
up. Thanks
Just
for the help, but
shh.
I'm like,
just if I want
I'm like,
your
do
advice,
I see any
I'll
kids
ask
around
for
here?
it.
Do you have any kids? No, you don't. There's a reason for that. So get out of my face. But
Oh,
I'm just saying.
cold
But
blood.
look,
All right.
all I'm saying is, I think it's gonna come back to bite her. It's gonna come back to bite her in her bottom. I'm telling
Okay,
you.
fair enough. I will say, her sister. I didn't recall the name. Julie's sister.
Yeah.
Anyway, the aunt of the.
She mentioned her husband, by the way.
She's got like tattletale. Written
And that's what
all
I'm
over.
saying.
So
She's like,
hear
I
that,
can't
hear
tell.
that.
His name was Joe or John or
But
something.
I think that what I'm saying is I think that may have happened regardless. Like either way, I think Julie's sister would have like blown the whistle, and whether it would be
on
like,
what though? She wouldn't have had anything to blow the whistle on except.
Well, no, I think if she just denied it, then she would have gone all rogue and like gotten some social worker to be like come in the house and like intervene,
like a therapist.
Yeah, like set some intervention up, like she's not raising her daughter right or something.
I don't think
even
she still
know.
believes that. So we'll see next episode. But I feel like she still was kind of like, can I tell Joe? And she's like, no. And then she's obviously going to tell him, but I don't think she fully believes him. I think she thinks her sister's a little crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, she's gonna be a problem. We're gonna have to take care of her.
Ooh.
Well, or I mean, I don't know. Maybe
this show is getting to him. He said we're gonna have to take care of her. Like, wow, is that fast?
Yep.
Okay.
Just call him Bubbly.
I'm just
a little
saying.
wet work. We gotta keep things.
No,
under
call
wrap.
Johnson. Bobley's not gonna do it. Johnson will though. Obviously, Johnson
Johnson's
is happy.
on the other team.
Yeah,
though.
but Johnson's happy killing people, as you could tell from the episode.
Fair enough. He is.
I mean, he's such a.
God, yeah, no, I agree. I'm curious to see because we saw sort of over the scope of this episode where Johnson starts at least, or where he is pre-Meacham, and kind of down the rabbit hole he goes. A couple meetings, obviously Meacham brainwashing him and kind of.
He didn't brainwash him. He just said something.
He definitely set some wheels in motion.
Okay, he didn't. Johnson needs to be stronger. That's all. Johnson. It took, like you said, it was one conversation. He's like, okay, and he just changed his mind.
They met a couple times. There's one conversation where they had that convinced him to do this whole like kill. Capture
Johnson
versus
sucks.
kill kind of charade thing. And then they actually do it. They go on the mission, the Musa Kala mission, and which was cool. I loved how they gave us that whole mission, the story he told his daughter, which obviously adds up to her knowing that he's
crap!
not.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
I didn't.
What do you mean? That was pretty big part of the episode.
Well, I didn't think. I saw what happened. I didn't think about the Musa Kala or whatever.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. So they gave us that whole mission, which was cool.
Oh wow.
Obviously we know sort of what his daughter was talking about last episode with being a ghost.
That is a ghost.
He had to disobey an order and pretend that he was dead for a minute to like move to a different location and again save the day by sniping everybody.
And come on, you knew that guy was a bad guy. I knew it. When I first saw him,
I didn't think.
I was like, something's not right. Like,
Yeah, it was
he was the only
interesting.
guy who had like an accent. He was the only guy he was like a native. Like it just didn't. I don't know. Maybe they have that.
What?
But
Which
the guy who was the traitor against Johnson. Remember with the guy that he saved, the guy that tried to kill Johnson and Bob Lee saved him.
Wait, the knife guy?
Yeah.
Or the guy
knife
that
guy.
he kills first?
No, the knife guy, because he killed a lot of people first.
Well, no, the knife guy just was about to kill.
Yeah, and
Johnson.
he saved him. But I'm saying I knew that guy was a traitor from the first scene that he was in. You didn't notice him in the other scenes?
Wait, the knife guy?
Yeah.
I thought the knife guy was bad, like on part of the terrorists.
No, the knife guy was like, okay. Remember that there was a guy who was like a native of wherever they were from, but he had on like the military uniform. He had an accent and everything, and he was talking to Johnson. Did you not pay attention to any of that?
No.
He was in a lot of scenes.
Again, I was taking in the fact that we were watching Musa Kala, unlike some people.
Well, he was in a lot of scenes, and he actually had a lot of words. But wow, okay. Well, that guy.
Fair enough. Hey, you didn't know that the main.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not saying.
It's
oh
not
my
split
God.
hairs. It's all good. There's a lot going on.
He's taking it
There's a lot
personal. He's
going
like,
on in
hey, don't throw
episodes.
me under the bus. I'm just saying that guy. I saw him and I knew something wasn't right because he like made little comments and he was defending the people too.
Interesting.
I don't know if you know. He was saying, "Oh no, they're not bad. They only want peace or whatever." And then he like gave Johnson. You didn't know? Okay,
I missed that.
it's okay. Just half of the show. I mean, it was just half of the entire show, but it's fine.
Like Musa Kala.
Yeah,
I got that half.
Yeah,
I got that
okay,
half.
cool.
Anyway, but I mean the main thing I was trying to get at was that Meacham like basically I think set him up, set Johnson up, leading him down the path of like, okay, we have to do this capture thing instead, so you're gonna have to like do some tricky stuff.
He did say that he wanted to see how tough he was.
Right, but I mean I think that Meacham's plan all along was to set up Isaac Johnson and be like, okay, we'll draw him out, he'll get killed, then we'll have the ability, like probable cause, to like come in and capture them, the terrorist guys that they're from.
See, the reason. Okay, so
Mullah Abdul.
the reason why I don't think that is the case because Meacham didn't know that the other guy was a bad guy. Like you didn't see the other guys. The guy that was on Johnson's team is the guy that actually pushed him to the people and like held a gun at him.
Okay.
Which is why I don't think that Meacham knew that.
I think Meacham knows.
But did you think that he knew
more.
that the guy was a bad guy?
Yeah, I do.
Because I don't like the scene with the guy. The guy was he was the one that said he's American. He said he's American and like pushed him, and like they all held him up.
I think Meacham knows exactly what.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, Meacham, but he did say, why do you think he was saying don't kill the guy? Don't kill, like, what was his name? Al, whatever. Like the main guy that they were looking for.
Yeah, the Allah Abdul or Mullah Abdul.
Yeah, he kept saying, oh, don't kill him. He's better alive or blah, blah, blah. But let them think that he died.
Right, because they want to take him off site and torture him until he gives up information, which I don't agree with. He has a rationale, but I think that that's what he was selling Isaac Johnson. What he was actually trying to do, which is like something, because it's going to be a thing. I think, I don't know if there was a way that they could fake a death and have like everybody report it enough to legitimize, like to be able to pull that off in the way that he was explaining. That like we're gonna fake kill him, you're gonna report that, and we're gonna like black bag him and take him. I don't think they would be able to actually pull that off because there's so many witnesses.
And Meacham was saying all this stuff, by the way, in front of everyone. Did you notice that? Like when everything was going wrong, he's like,
Yeah,
He's like,
no,
everyone
that's
has
what
to
that's
be a
what,
damn hero, but he was saying it in front of the other people.
well, no, but he
So
was
wasn't even
also
hiding
he was
it.
also saying like, yeah, let's just cruise in. It's good, and they're like, what are you talking
Yeah,
about?
and
I
everything
cannot
Bob Lee
even-
said, like Bob Lee said, oh, would what some code, and he said, don't you guys, you better not do whatever Bob Lee said. So he wasn't trying to hide that he was not trying to go with what was best for everyone else.
Well, no, I think he was just saying like, we like this mission, like making sure that the mission happened, because he obviously wants this guy to capture him and to get that intel. So, however he can make that happen is good. So he was like, yeah, it looks clear to
If
me,
everyone
like totally
dies, I don't care.
aces. And the guy who was like actually looking at if it did look clean was like, who are you?
Now, does this
bro?
make you think that all government agents are crooked?
Not all, but definitely
like
some.
a large
definitely
amount.
some. This show definitely makes me.
It's like everyone is. Even Bob Lee, I'm not gonna say he's crooked, but he did like help Johnson under the radar. You know what I mean? And like with the whole sniper thing and setting all that stuff up. So it's kind of like, I'm not saying he's crooked, but no one's like completely honest.
Yeah, I mean, shades of gray, which is interesting. I like
51
how.
shades of gray, actually.
Well, no, I just like how, again, in the first, to go back to the first mission, I like how it was more, uncertain. It's like you can't, it's so much of a gray area. It's like, which side do you actually go with? Like, yes, he did save those people, but, at the expense of his own life and, like, the order of things, and, like, he is so much more valuable. So, like, if he's going rogue, saving, like, everybody and gets killed, like, that's a bigger loss for the team. It's like, in sports, like, the star player doesn't go for, like, every loose ball because, like, they need to, like, think of more the long term, like the full game, as opposed to, like, every single thing.
Now, I'm glad
what I mean?
you brought up the bounty, because that had me thinking. I feel like they put that in there on purpose. Now, why do you think that Johnson chose Bob Lee in the first episode to help him with all of that? He mentioned that he had a $600,000 bounty, and that was at the time that they were in, like, war or wherever they were. So I'm like, okay, so maybe that's a reason why Johnson chose Bob Lee, because he has a bounty, and he had a bounty then. And this is like time later, and he still is like the top sniper, though he's out, but everyone still knows him as that. So do you think that had anything to do with it, like the bounty that is on Bob Lee? Because it could have only risen.
Maybe. I mean, it's
Or do you
possible.
think I'm going too like?
I mean,
feel like,
that's very deep.
well,
Again,
but
I'm
but
not putting it
thinking,
past them.
I feel like it's like little clues. Like, I don't know. Like they said, he's like, you have a bounty, and they just talked about it for a second, and that was it. But then that makes you think, okay, so why did he choose Bob Lee in the first place? I know that he knows he's good, but then did this bounty have anything to do with it? I mean, you never know, because there are so many people, and like in all the episodes, they'll bring up like a name that we haven't heard since like the first episode, and you have to think about all the people that are like the other Russian people that haven't really been
Right, yeah, Dmitry Voidian.
Yeah, and then like even the lady. Remember the lady who he was trying to?
Right.
Yeah, like she still hasn't come back, but she's going to. I don't know. I'm thinking like super deep into
Well, no,
it.
I mean, that's honestly probably right. I mean, I think he's killed so many people that he's an easy person for society to believe like did this. Like, if you kill like 300 people.
Almost 4, right? Some crazy number.
Well, I think like his public number was like 250 and his actual number is like 350 or something. But again, that's
kind of a lot.
That's so many people that you've murdered. Again, it's in wartime, so it's a different situation. But at the end of the day, like he caused those people to no longer live. So.
It's not funny, but what you're saying is funny.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
he did.
It's like that. What that does to you psychologically is insane. Like, it's no secret that a lot of soldiers go through like post-traumatic stress disorder. So I think that definitely plays into one of the reasons Bob Lee was picked. Isaac Johnson also knows him, so like he could pull on his heartstrings to like incriminate himself with all the evidence, scouting out all those locations, and. Yeah, I mean, I think like because he's a great sniper, like he would be able to pull off a shot like that. I think there's a lot of factors.
So it just worked out. You feel like it just worked out. Like everyone knows he is capable of it. So it kind of made sense to choose someone at his caliber.
Right. I mean, a
Yeah.
guy that's killed like hundreds and hundreds of people, I feel like couldn't, what's one more?
Compared to like framing one of us, right?
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
if you picked like some, sniper that's like never been out in the field, I don't think it'd be as believable because people would raise questions like,
Like,
oh, okay,
why would
like,
he do that? Like,
Right.
what does he have to gain? Yeah. Now, what did you think about the funeral, the fake funeral?
fake funeral?
I was like, oh, this is weird.
sad.
It was kind of weird.
Bad turnout. Bad turnout. I mean, there was like 5 people. Again,
He's a private person, though.
He is a private person. Most people also think he's a murderer.
You said bad turnout. That's funny. That one guy was there, though. The guy who helped him out with the hip.
Yes, he
was
was.
there.
Big Ron.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah. Donnie's mom made it. Obviously, the wife.
I didn't even see her, but
it.
she would be there. That makes sense.
Yeah. What are you talking about? That's how Meacham.
Oh, yeah.
and-
You're right. When
and,
he said
Johnson
yeah.
saw,
And then he's like,
you got to take her out.
he's like, no, come on. That's,
Which is
I
the
served-
worst. Like that moment was.
That's
Man.
what really made me like just
Yeah.
done.
Would you think about? I mean,
About the murder
we're
scene?
clearly not fans of Johnson, but like,
Well, you know what? Okay.
did you think he was just gonna like do it? Like,
Well, no, I felt like once Meacham, I mean, anything Meacham tells him to do, he does. So I figured he would do it. I was very surprised at the fact that Donnie's mom, I mean, she knew that she was going to die for helping him because she said to Johnson, I was expecting a visit from someone.
yeah.
So the fact that she still helped Bob Lee, knowing that she was probably going to die from doing it, I mean, I applaud her because I would have been like, bye, Bob Lee. Like, I'm not about to die for you. But she was very, like, helpful, and she knew that she was going to die for helping him.
Yeah,
How crazy is that?
Man, I love Donnie's mom. She just seems like such a nice
She's the
lady.
real OG.
She
like,
is so like authentic.
She's so
again
down.
like you staring death in the face
I
and like
can't run.
having tea time with it.
Yeah, it's
she
like,
was
I
just
can't
like,
run,
you know
I
what?
have
Like
nowhere
I
to go.
can't do that. I mean, well, also I think after losing a child, like I don't know if there's anything in life that's worse than that. So going through that pain, I think that she was just like.
You think she was over it? Like,
Well,
she has have nothing
not
left.
over life, but I think that she was not about to let her son and his memory down. Like, like after losing him, she's not going to be like, okay, well, I can't. I'm going to save myself right now. Like,
I would have
I
done
think
it.
she.
I mean, I'm not that. I'm not that. I'm not that brave. I'm sorry. Like,
Well-
I would have been like, you know what, son, I miss you. I'm so sorry, but Bob, you gotta go. Like, don't come to my house because I don't want to die. Like, you're gonna let
Well,
the guy's going to like.
I don't
come
think,
on.
I don't think she was thinking that far ahead.
But
when
she said, remember, she said I was expecting a visit from you.
right, but I
guess
mean, that was after the fact. That,
Yeah, but
that, like they
no.
saw him and they knew that he
No,
had
I'm not,
escaped.
I can't. You would harbor a fugitive.
Well, she wasn't doing it for long. Like,
I
yeah,
know, but I'm
she
just asking,
took
would
him
you-
in.
Would you do it yourself? What do you think?
I mean, if there was a personal connection as strong as them, like I would not like slam the door in their face. I don't know like how much I would do for them,
But even if you knew that you probably were going to die, you wouldn't know.
I don't think she thought that far ahead. Like
I'm just
he
asking,
shows
I don't know.
up wounded, like
You're right. No, it's
seeking
true.
help.
It was adrenaline. She's like,
and she like I wouldn't again. I don't think I would turn away someone I knew and like was like my child's best friend.
It's fair.
Like that desperately needed help.
I understand. It's fair. It was the heat of the moment. It was kind of like,
Fair enough. We get it, Desola. You don't like kids. You like will slam doors in people's faces.
no,
to save
I
yourself.
was just saying she's the real MVP for
She is the
doing
real-
that because I mean, who would do that? So, okay, my opinion on the thing. I think
No,
that
totally, yeah.
I
You're
think that
entitled to it.
Johnson sucks, and the fact that he
I
said
can get
like,
behind that.
I mean, he gave her a chance to run or something. He said you could run. So maybe that was his way of saying like leave. But
Right, but
he came ready. He had the
yeah,
gloves.
no,
and
he did come ready, and I think that him offering that to her, like you should run, like please just go, was to save himself, like the trouble of having to go through with it.
and to
because
make
he-
himself feel better, kind of.
Yeah, well, feel better and like hopefully like get an out. He went to like when Meacham was like, "Dude, you got to kill this girl." Woman, I guess she's not a girl. She's a lady.
I like how casual you said, "Dude, you got to kill this girl." Like, come on, what are you doing?
Just
Just do
Johnson,
it.
just
Yeah.
do it. Well, he was shockingly like casual about it.
Because he's probably done it many
Meacham
times.
is a dirty dude.
Yeah.
But anyway, when Johnson and Donnie's mom were talking, you know, I think that he really wanted that last out. Like, he pushed back to meet him a little bit, but, you know, got kind of overruled, had to go through with it, and was like, if I don't do it, someone else will. And so I think if she actually had escaped, he could pull the excuse like, oh, she was not there, or she ran away from me, and, you know, then push it off to someone else.
And he strangled her to the end.
Right.
He was shaking. He was strangling her so much.
Dude, I mean...
He was like, you know, like, he was going ham.
Yeah, that's such a gnarly way to end someone's life. I mean, I think any way would be difficult, but... you know, pushing a button that, like, explodes a bomb, like, out of sight, out of mind, I think is a little bit different mentally for you than being, like, hugging someone and, like,
yeah, no, you mean being so close to
like,
that.
literally, like, with your hands taking their life away, I think is a more...
and feeling the life go,
yeah,
like,
just, like,
them.
more visceral way. Like, he has to dig a grave for hours and, like, bury her, like, you know, like, carrying her from her house to a car, like, wrapped in a blanket. Like, it's a very long process that he went through experiencing this. Like, that's a, you know, I think murder is, like, again, like, top thing, like, horrible thing you can do, like, in our
I think it's number
life.
one.
Like,
I think it's number one.
it's pretty close, yeah.
Well, what else would number one be?
Well, I mean, there's varying degrees of murder, as
just
we
murder
talked
in
about.
general. I mean, it's bad.
There's some bad stuff in there. That's one of the worst, though, for sure.
Guns are scary. You see this?
Yeah.
I mean,
you head down a path. You head down a path.
Like, and I said guns, but when he was a sniper, so he got used to killing people. So then he's like, oh, I kill people with my hands, and then it's just bad. It's all bad.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah.
And I can't, like, and someone he knew so well. Like, again, I keep going. I think in episode 2, Bob Lee finds that photo and kind of leaves it out for Johnson to find. It's him. It's Bob Lee, Donnie, and Johnson, and they're all kind of like buddies. Like, they were in, like, a pretty small camp, it seemed like, of troops, so they had a lot of interaction with each other on a daily basis. We see them at the end, like, they're buddies. Like, they had numerous talks. Even
he called him his friend, by the way.
Yeah, no, they were friends, and Bob Lee even called Johnson out. He's like, dude, this is BS. What are you doing? You are a sniper. I know you're smarter than this, and you're putting us where, like, this is stupid. There's, like, this is too stupid to be legit. And he, you know, completely called him out. Johnson was like, yeah, like, you know, sometimes there's just times to keep your mouth shut. This is one of those times. So they had a little bit of an understanding, a friendship, I think, that went to the point where Bob Lee, being as righteous as he is, would kind of go along with it. Because at that point, I think he could, like, it was within his capability to, like, go above rank or tell someone and tattle on that situation. But he didn't. I think he knows, again, sort of where the lines are, and so he's not completely, like, a goody is what I mean.
Yeah. I hate Johnson. I'm just listening.
Just
I'm
back
just like,
to that?
I'm just like, I really hate him, but I know I get where you're coming from. It's Now, what did you think about Memphis? She's growing some big balls every episode. Like, she gets more and more
Yeah,
ballsy.
sort of. I mean, rookie mistake, drinking the poison.
Yeah, that was so stupid. But before she did that,
clearly
I mean,
not her first
she's good at
CIA
calling
setup,
people out,
Memphis.
though. I mean, like, it's like she has no problem, like, oh, yeah, is that how you feel? I had a boyfriend that acted just like you. You saw that?
Yeah.
I mean, that was, like, she felt herself there.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, Memphis, I respect you even more. But then when she drank the coffee like an idiot, it's like, come on, don't drink the coffee when you knew he was a liar. But maybe she started to trust him a little bit.
Yeah,
I feel like they were flirting, kind of, by the way, before she called him out.
Right. Yeah, I mean, when they met, like, in the conference room.
There was something there.
Well, I don't know if there was something there. I think Payne was definitely trying to make something there.
Yes.
So, like, he would draw
Charm
her
her.
in and kind of be able to misdirect her. Kind of a shell game situation, but it obviously didn't work.
And he tried to kill her.
Yeah. I mean, she's smart. She's not that smart to see past it. She's not Bob Lee smart.
Which is good. Why he's like her guardian angel now.
Yeah.
I mean, he said, I've been watching you. I've been following you. Da, da, da. And she says, well, if you're gonna if
Yeah,
we're gonna
I
be working
actually thought
together,
that was a good line. Thank
Yeah.
you for bringing that up. Where she was like, "Yeah, if you're gonna, you got to do a better job of protecting me."
yeah, like if we're
or
gonna work
watching me,
together,
like,
she's like, look, I'm already putting my job, my life, and everything at
Yeah.
risk to help you. So come on, that's the least you can do.
right. Well, and also it brings up a good point. Bobby, obviously a very well trained sniper. If he is watching her, why didn't he like come in with a better like game plan?
I mean,
like
I think he
a
met his
weapon
match
or something.
I feel like he met his match. I don't think he knew that Payne was
Payne
that.
was so well trained.
Yeah,
I didn't think so.
I didn't.
But
Well, yeah,
you know,
I thought he was gonna
we don't
die.
know. Yeah, and we don't know exactly what he is. If he is like a mercenary for hire, he would be very well trained. So that
But we
makes
haven't gotten his
sense.
backstory yet, so maybe that's next
True.
episode.
And yeah, I mean, I think we're basing it off of what we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 1, he tries to shoot him from like across the room and doesn't get it done. So, you know, I think we lowered the bar for his capabilities. But we don't know. I mean, he might be like a street fighter in some foreign country. Like we have no idea. So I'm curious about his backstory because we've learned a lot about a bunch of different characters, and he beat Bob Lee in like
he did. I was
fisticuffs.
disappointed. I was very disappointed in you, Bob Lee. How dare you lose a fight? But
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Bring a weapon, dude.
I mean, but
like
you are-
like a.
But I mean, but
Some type of
that's how much of a
blunt
G
force.
that he is, though. You know, he's like, I don't need a weapon. Like I mean, it didn't work out this time, but
Well, clearly
typically,
he did need a weapon because he got his ass beat.
typically it works out for him. You know, I don't know. Payne was pretty good, so I'm excited to see what Payne, like you said, his background and
Yeah.
why he's so good at it. I mean, you remember he does have like since the first episode, he had some type of vengeance against Bob Lee. Like he's like, oh, Bob Lee, who cares about him? You know, so maybe he really wants to show who Bob Lee who he was,
Right.
and he did.
Yeah, and like I mean, I don't know. Yeah, Payne is definitely getting less on the hate scale than Johnson
I
for
was
me right
thinking
now.
that. I thought that actually.
I mean, again, I don't think, as we've discussed, murder is ever
Yeah.
good. But he was at least doing it in a more humane way with Memphis. Like, you know, he was like, you're just going to pass out. I mean, like, telling her about it was sort of, you know, messed up.
No, that's not the more. No.
How is that not more humane than choking
Because
someone
he was-
out? And then,
Do you not
like,
recall that he was choking Bob Lee? I mean,
Well, no, I mean they were in a fight. Like,
I'm just saying,
I mean that's
he
what,
was-
okay. I meant
There
like
is
just
no
apples to
positive
apples
to it.
here, killing like when he was taking out Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
He was like the way he was doing that was like through like an IV thing and pills, so like she wouldn't really feel any
I mean, she'd fall
pain.
asleep, yeah, and not wake up.
Johnson choked the life out of Donnie's mom. Like
did.
that is insane. Like it was a struggle. Like she like was at
She was
his
trying to
neck.
fight, yeah.
Like she messed that up. Like that I think is so much more painful. Like you're inflicting so much more hurt on someone's like last moment.
And fear. But I guess the fear
Yeah,
for
and fear. Like
fear for
dude, that like
for
if
her
you
would
got
have been
into
there
like
too,
a
though.
playful brawl like like ever, but when like
said
there's
you've never gotten to
no,
it?
I said I don't know if you
Oh.
have, but like there gets that moment where it's like no longer a game. You're like, dude, tap out. Like that feeling's horrible. Like when you're getting suffocated.
You're like, I'm gonna die, please. It's true. I
Yeah,
understand.
well, no, like I mean, if you have siblings, maybe you guys know this at home.
Yes.
You cross a line where it's no longer fun and games, and,
And then you got to get in
someone's
the
about to
fight,
get poked in
and
the
a real
eye.
argument at the end. Like, dude, you play too much. Ah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I
and then you know
understand.
the tears come.
So you.
Yeah.
So
Right? You don't-
I mean, no, not me. I don't cry. So you brought up the fact that Memphis had got the cut on his neck, and did you know?
Oh, Johnson. Yeah, Johnson got the
Damn,
cut,
no,
yeah.
not Memphis. Sorry, Johnson. Yeah, Johnson got the cut, and his wife was like, "Oh yeah, whatever she was saying," and she's
Yeah,
like,
just was that hickey? No.
"What happened?" You know?
Yeah,
Now,
I wonder if she's gonna
does she
ask
know
some
he's
questions.
in the CIA? He came home dressed totally different than what he dresses at work. He had like a little like it was not the same.
I think so.
He was not
I mean,
the
I
same.
think it'd be hard to. He's not that suave. You know, he
Yeah, but
was
CIA can be like, I mean,
right. I think she might have the wrong idea about what he does
yeah.
at the CIA. You know, I think she's like, yeah, he might like he's in government work.
yeah. She also brushed it off very easy when he said, "Oh, don't worry about it," which means that he might be very. I don't know if he's either a really different person at home and he's not aggressive at all, and
Right.
and so she doesn't think anything, or he could either be really aggressive to where she's like, okay, I'm not gonna go there with you.
Right.
You know.
Definitely.
I wonder.
Well, I mean, he's not above strangling people to death. So,
But she might not know that part of him.
Yeah, I don't think she does.
I mean, there are a lot of crazy murders out there who live regular lives.
Yeah, I mean, they were speaking in a foreign language. I think it was like Chinese or something.
An Asian language, yes.
And he, I don't think that they would do that if she didn't know that he was like into. There's not a lot of jobs where someone's like fluent in those types of foreign languages.
I mean, maybe
and
he used
working
it to
here.
win her over. You never know.
He probably did.
He keep like
Again, I
hey,
don't
girl.
think he called upon his accolades strangling
Oh
people.
my God, you
and-
did strangling.
Dude,
I'm sure
he's
he
the
didn't strangle
worst.
her.
Like, he
I'm
is
sure
the
he didn't
worst.
strangle her to win her over. I hope not.
But yeah, I just Johnson has moved up. He is now the worst on the show.
He's been the worst. I've been saying that I
really?
hate him.
Well, Pain was pretty bad for a while.
For like
but,
one episode,
it's
and
been,
then
okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, there's
But
been
you're
four.
right.
I think,
No,
I
you're
think
right.
half of the
Johnson's
first
getting
two, I
worse.
was like, dude, this Pain guy, no good. And now I think they've switched. They're both bad.
No,
but I
Johnson's the
want
worst. You're right,
Johnson
because
to
we're
die
seeing-
sooner.
And the worst part is we know he's not gonna die anytime soon, or else the show would be like crappy. So I guess you can
We can
say
hope, though.
Johnson.
We can hope.
No,
and
yeah.
hope. Well, maybe just things will start to go poorly for him.
I hope so.
Until he dies in the finale. That would
Well,
be
I
an
hope
ideal
I
situation.
honestly hope he doesn't. Being that I want the show to kind of go on more than one season, I hope he doesn't die in the finale. I mean, I could understand why you want him
Right.
to. I mean, I really do hate him though. The writers seem like they're good enough to write something else in, so he can die. Actually, yeah.
Well,
Let him die.
I think the bigger story is Meacham. He's obviously high up.
And he mentioned his boss.
I mean, that was long ago, so maybe he is the boss. Maybe he still has
his boss
a
is the Russian guy that Bob Lee was rooming
Well,
with.
full circle there.
I
Maybe.
feel it. I that's his boss.
They're definitely powerful people and I think Meacham does have a boss still. I think he's higher up than where he was when he met Johnson. But he's definitely, I mean, he's killing people left and right. Like
He is.
He is covering something up, and I don't think it's for his own interests only. So there's other stuff going on. I definitely want to figure out more of that. And I feel like he's got more goons. Like if Johnson dies, he's probably gonna hire someone else, find another Pain.
So what do you think is gonna happen next? Like, what do you think he's gonna do?
Well, yeah. Again, hopefully things start to unravel. I really want Johnson's life to just rumble.
He's
Just
like, bye, Johnson, please leave.
Like just shambles.
But it needs to be
on the
like
guy.
horrible. He can't just die.
Yeah,
like,
no, I want him to
like
like
a little
lose
bit.
his wife, to like publicly be like defamed
Humiliated.
and humiliated.
lose a leg, an arm, an eye.
something. Yeah.
No, all three
All of them,
at the
maybe,
same time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just horrible things happen.
Slow, painful.
That would be the best. And then when he's lost
We sound
everything,
so bad. Oh my god.
I think it's okay. For
I'm
him
with
to die.
you. I'm with you on
Totally.
that.
But yeah, Pain, he's gonna get vengeance coming to him as well. You can't stab Bob Lee Swagger and like live to tell about it
It's
for
true.
very long. Like he's going down.
You know, Bob is a G. I think Payne's gonna die before Johnson does.
Really interesting.
Yeah, because I mean I think he'll die before John does. But that's just
Yeah.
my opinion.
Fair enough. All right. Well, okay. Let me ask you this though. Obviously, the plan now is for Memphis to go to work, maintain status quo, pretend like nothing happened. But what is she gonna do after work?
What do
Clearly,
you
she's
mean?
not
Like
safe
when
at her
she leaves?
house.
Oh.
Like, A, it's
Well, I'm
been
trying to-
like ransacked, and B, it's kind of a target now that Payne got away and is about to
trying to
tell
imagine
everyone
now.
that she's not dead.
Okay, well, I'm imagining, let's say like next week's episode, I'm going to imagine that I'm going to predict.
Well, yeah, let's go to predictions.
I'm going to predict. You guys, I didn't get thrown
And
off this time.
now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I'm going to predict that Memphis and Bob Lee are going to be seeing a lot more of each other.
Okay.
Like next episode, I feel like there's gonna be a couple meetings with them. Like, and I feel like she's gonna. I almost feel like she's going to, maybe not next episode, but she's going to start like reporting to him in a way,
Memphis
like
reporting to Swagger?
Yes, like
Okay,
reporting,
yeah.
like letting him know, like, because she meets up with all those with Johnson and Payne and everyone.
Right.
Probably not with Payne anymore, but You know,
I think he's off.
yeah, that's
the
probably
meeting
done. But I
books.
think she's going to like, update him on everything that's going on all the time, and that'll be another way that he's in, which helps because she also updates his wife. So now they're in a little love triangle, which is beautiful, and I hope it keeps going.
Nice. Yeah, I like that.
What do you think?
I'm there. I definitely agree with you with Memphis and Swagger working cahoots, looping in the wife, giving her little like updates. Still, Bob Lee still alive. Don't worry. But I'm curious to see where she's gonna sleep. Memphis, like clearly her house is a no.
Well, maybe Bob Lee's gonna move in with her.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, that's another thing. Where is Bob Lee sleeping? I mean, he's prone to sleeping outside and like sniper
he doesn't
hides.
sleep.
Pretty much, he's like a nocturnal.
Remember, they said he was shooting for like 4 days or something.
Yeah,
in the beginning.
He's a marathon,
3 days,
not a sprint. So yeah, I'm curious to see. Hopefully, he gets closer to publicly incriminating everybody. I think that he definitely needs Memphis to do that. He mentioned having an agent on the inside. Like he needs to uncover the evidence because killing everybody is not going to be enough. We saw he obviously could have shot and killed Johnson long ago and just like sniped and been done with it. But
he wants to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, and really uncover the greater thing that's going on here. So hopefully he finds out more info from Memphis as kind of a mole. They're gonna have to clean up her house, though.
We will see. We will see. And also, I think we want to know what they think, right? So you guys, let us know. Comment below. What do you think is gonna happen next week?
Totally. Please comment below. Tweet at the show your predictions. If you're watching this on YouTube, please give us a rating, 5 stars if you like the show.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up.
Also, give us your predictions on when you think these characters are gonna die.
Oh, he's gonna go ham, and Johnson especially. When do you think Johnson is going to go down?
Definitely. I'm going episode 10. What do you think, Desola?
I don't think this season at all, actually.
Really? Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
So you guys let us know.
Keep us waiting. Until then, where can they find you?
You can find me at Desola B everywhere, and you can find me at Desola Balogun on YouTube. You guys, I'm fun. Follow me.
Very fun. Be fun.
Can't you tell? Haha.
I'm laughing. And you guys can find me at I'm JB. You guys can find me at Hey John Blake. You're so funny.
You can't even speak because I'm making him laugh so much. Very subtle, funny person over here. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching.
See you guys next week.
Peace, 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 peace.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.